I am open to any idea that prevents me from watching Shedeur Sanders play quarterback on Sundays. I would rather poke myself in the eyeballs repeatedly than watch him try to play quarterback at the NFL level.
I think that's an insane.
Speaking of insane, would you want this to be your maintenance man in an apartment that you rented down by the river in a city that you just moved to on a dead-end street? I mean, that discussion about Shedeur has his eyes bucking and wide like he is Freddy Krueger before he got burned in that fire. I don't know. I mean, he looks like he's ready to... This Shedeur Sanders... You know what it is Shedeur is reportedly looking real good in training camp. It's year number 2. He is a year older, a year better. And they understand that their house of lies is crumbling on down right over their heads. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. They have nowhere else to go but to lie and to keep on lying. But why are they lying? What is their goal? What do they get out of it? If you're a Browns fan, don't you want Shedeur to be good? I don't know. We're going to keep going. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up.
Hot take.
It's not.
Yes.
He was statistically one of the worst quarterbacks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, and I think I've heard everyone pirate that take, and the truth is...
It's not pirating when it's actually true.
Yeah, but, parroting it. There, that's a different one. Everyone has said it, and then you actually put on the tape. He really wasn't as bad as the stats say he was.
Yes, he was. He made a couple of plays downfield with his arm.
Now, wait a minute. Isn't a quarterback supposed to make a couple of plays downfield with his arm? Isn't that why they hired him? Just a couple of plays, huh?
Quinshon Judkins, top of your screen. Shedeur's throw is complete. Sanders will dump it off to Judkins. He's got blockers in front. Quinshon Judkins. And Judkins down the sideline with blazing speed. Oh, just short of the end. Judkins. Sanders to throw. Floats for the end zone.
And this is one thing Sanders has when he finds that one-on-one opportunity.
With his coordinator, 41-yard punt, first down. Sanders gets rid of it and open for a first down. And he'll dump it off to Ford. He's going to race for the first down and up the sideline. Fake. Sanders has it, hesitates, out of room to run. One of the Titans fell down, and Sanders slides across the 40. For Sanders. Well protected, and there's Jerry Jeudy. And he's off, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Not a couple.
Every now and then he extended.
A couple of plays. And the host is pushing back just a little eensy-teensy-weensy bit. He made a whole lot of plays, but he knows that they have decided that they are going to use words and media to try to create an outcome that they want to uphold their Shedeur Sanders mythology, their tall tales, their fairy tales. Let's go.
Plays. He was terrible. He had more interceptions than touchdowns. He had a terrible EPA per play, terrible success rate.
All right, there they go with the EPA. That's right up there with I got abducted by aliens and they did a probe on me. It is just, they're going to be off over there in the corner discussing their UFO sightings and their visits to Area 51. They're on that. We're going to let them do that. The legend of Shedeur. He looked really good on the field, but his statistics said he was the worst quarterback to ever do it. How could the worst quarterback ever look so damn good? EPA. Break glass here when you need negative things to say. Just embrace it. Shedeur is going to be your quarterback. That's if he stays in Cleveland after his contract, which he probably will not. The hatred is real.
Terrible completion percentage over expected. He was one of the worst players that played quarterback in the NFL last year. And the only reason why he looked good is because you were comparing him to Dillon Gabriel.
And you were comparing...
No, he looked good because of the plays that he made on the field. So that's what we do with quarterbacks is we compare them to the other guy, and then that's how they look good or not. So I guess Mahomes only looked good because he wasn't hurt. Josh Allen only looked good. Well, no, Josh Allen didn't look as good as Shedeur when they played head-to-head, but we're going to keep going.
Joe Flacco, who struggled in the same offense, who looked worse. Looked as bad, if you want to go that way, in the same offense.
Has no feel for pressure. None whatsoever.
Disagree.
No.
I disagree with the no. I disagree with the
Holds on
absolute.
to the ball too long. Tries to make the big play.
Did you see the offensive line he was playing with? Did you see the skill players he was playing with?
Always the offensive line. Always the skill players.
Not.
Pain, despair, hopelessness is what these Shedeur haters are feeling. He knows that's not true what he just said. Always the offensive line. Yeah, it was always the offensive line last year. They couldn't block. That's why they were ranked at the bottom of the league. They sucked. They were terrible. Shedeur Sanders will not get a fair shake if we have anything to do with it. We're going to keep going.
Always.
Never
Not
the
in
guy.
this one.
Never the guy, just not being good enough.
You literally said yesterday that it's the worst playmaker room in the NFL.
It is.
And that's what you're holding him accountable for?
No, not
you
at all.
Elevate those guys?
I'm evaluating him, and that's the hard thing about a disastrous situation like the Browns, is that you evaluate each thing independent of the other stuff, which is difficult. Of course it's difficult. But if you do that with Shedeur Sanders, you see one of the worst quarterbacks that you've ever seen.
And he was a 5th-round pick, and he went you cannot convince me that he was put in a good situation and that he didn't
I
make
wouldn't
hay.
say that he was.
That he didn't make hay compared to...
And once again, notice there's no discussion of the win-loss ratio. 1/2 of the games that he started should have been 5 games. You can look up the drops and the great passes that he made, but this is not a serious conversation. Do not forget that. They are not serious. They are pushing an agenda, is what we suspect, because of the hatred that they have for Shedeur. It burns them up inside. It hurts their little whittle feelings. Notice he started out this whole asinine take that is meant to be asinine so he can get clicks. Notice that he started it out with how he felt. I would rather poke myself in the eyeballs than watch Shedeur. Not I would rather poke myself in the eyeballs, in my big bucked up eyeballs, if the Browns don't play well, but if Shedeur plays. No matter how good he plays, what it is he played very well last year, and you had to see that and absorb that and let that get into your soul, and it destroyed everything that you were ever trying to do with the whole smear campaign against Shedeur. And you knew he played well, and it's hard to watch because you know he plays well deep down inside. We're going to keep going.
Everything else. He also happened to be on teams that won games, going 3-4 in 7 games. That was more competitive than what Dylan or Joe did the previous, 10 games.
That's the mark? Be better than Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco?
Yes, in that scenario with a head coach that's about to get fired.
No,
yes.
How do you stack up to the other quarterbacks in the NFL? That's the question.
Name me another quarterback that would have been better last year in that. Give me like an...
Well, he went head-to-head against Josh Allen and looked better. He went head-to-head against Aaron Rodgers and beat him, and Joe Burrow. Cam Ward outplayed him. So they know these things, I think, assuming that they watch and understand football, which is a big maybe. The host of the show is kind of pushing back, doing a little bit of something, but this hot take culture, this I hate Shedeur club, this occult of the mythology of Shedeur Sanders, the worst quarterback to ever play that looked pretty good every time he played. They're not making sense, but we're going to keep going.
Give me like a Baker
Mac
Mayfield.
Jones would have been better.
I don't think so at all.
In that situation.
No, look at the last time Mac Jones was in that situation. It was the year before they drafted.
All right, so I guess he's still hoping for Baker Mayfield. That's what those eyes are giving. Also, he knows that he's been found out. Looks like things weren't going well at the restaurant. He was the assistant junior sous chef, had a useless degree from a junior college, and said, hey, let me do some hot takes and see where this leads me. Well, in the big corporate sports world, it may lead you pretty far, to be honest. Just say things that aren't true as long as they are hateful and they are on political code. That is the I Hate Shedeur Sanders code, which is the national big corporate and local sports media.
Did Drake May, and there's a reason they were able to draft Drake May. They were a 3-win team with Mac Jones that year.
Yes, and it wasn't all him. Team record.
Oh, wait. So now it's a team record?
I'm not saying anything about Shedeur. I'm talking about his performance.
All right, and you saw, let me go back a little bit on that.
That year.
Yes, and it wasn't all him. Team record.
Oh, wait. So now it's a team record?
I'm not saying anything about Shedeur.
And that gets the eye roll. That's giving, I can't believe I'm talking to this guy right here. This is a complete and total sucker. Where did they get this from? Programmers, producers, don't call this guy back. He's bad. I'm full of shit and I don't care. I believe in the legend of Shedeur not being good. I believe that Shedeur is the worst quarterback to ever play since Pop Warner. Can't wait to get back to that encrypted text thread with Mary Cabot and the rest of the Cleveland media. That's spelled with a K. So we can go over some more Adolf Hitler speeches and apply that to our jobs today. Wonder if Jason Lloyd finished my hood yet.
Talking about his performance. I'm not talking about what he did from a win-loss perspective. I'm not talking about all of those things that you're talking about. I'm talking about his performance. His performance specifically.
He's not talking about a win-loss record. What are they talking about? No, what matters is wins. But okay, they have a remedy and a rebuttal for that too.
That's it.
Wait, who's? Mac or
Shedeur's?
I'm sorry, I lost the plot there.
One of the worst that we've seen.
Yeah, I don't think that
that's
the
what
actual...
I'm saying, independent of the other stuff.
I don't think that you can't.
Yes.
When you have an offensive line that is non-functional, you have a system that is non-functional, you have Jerry Jeudy moping on the sidelines and causing issues, and that's supposed to be your best wide receiver, and by that time, Quinshon was hurt. I'm not
saying that he needed to elevate everything around him as a rookie. I'm just evaluating his performance with those circumstances attached to it. And his performance was one of the worst quarterbacks that we've seen.
And I don't...
Minus the 3 games that he won, which was more than the other quarterbacks. All of them. The 300 plus the 400-yard game almost. The record-breaking first game as a rookie, throwing more yards in his rookie season for the Browns than any other quarterback. Doing big things, and they know that that's what it's going to be. So they've changed their strategy. They're just going to go with the lie. I mean, this is a new form of hate. They brought back the EPA from last year. They don't care what the win-loss says. They don't care what the video says. Sometimes you got to just let the video play to remind people of exactly what happened on the field and why Shedeur Sanders was given the starting job last year. The media, the big corporate media, the local Cleveland media, the Shedeur haters a coat. They have taken L after L after L this training camp, and they're not even in pads yet. It's ripping them up inside. It is burning them up, tearing them up. I mean, this guy, he needed a job, seemingly. What do they want? What is their outcome? Is it to lose and play 1 on 11 with Arch Manning at quarterback? Sometimes I wonder.
Well, let me know what you think. Leave your comments in the box.
Yeah. ODP never stopping. I thought I Mental game, the vision, the plan. Execution. Yeah.